Hey guys, Ruminating Reaper here. So last night I finally watched Sisu Road to Revenge. Much like the first, this is written and directed by Jalmari Helander, who's also directing the forthcoming Rambo prequel starring Noah Centineo. I'm kind of curious about that one. Now, I was really looking forward to watching this. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to see it at the cinema because it didn't really show near me because, of course, the cinemas had to make room for the 5,000 showings a day of Wicked for Good. So, didn't get to see it at the cinema, but I was really looking forward to it because I really enjoyed the first. It's just such a ridiculously entertaining film, and I went in really hopeful that this would deliver more of that gloriously over the top fun. But is this sequel just as much fun as the first film? Let's find out. So in the film, it's 1946 and World War II is over. Atami Korpi, the man who refuses to die, has crossed the border into Soviet-occupied Karelia, where he returns to his old home and promptly dismantles it and loads it onto the back of his truck to take back home to Finland. However, the man responsible for the death of his family, ruthless Soviet commander Yegor Dragunov, has resurfaced and intends on bringing an end to the legend he inadvertently created, soon turning what starts out as a simple journey home into a brutal revenge mission. So, obviously there are two types of people in this world. Those that are fully on board for the gloriously over-the-top madness of the Sisu films, and those that are weak and will not survive the winter. And if you're somebody who enjoyed the first Sisu like I did, yeah, you're more than likely going to get a kick out of this one as well, because this gave me basically everything I could have wanted from a Sisu sequel. It's an absolute blast. So, from a story perspective, it's not exactly anything particularly groundbreaking. You know, it does roughly follow that same setup as the first, where obviously we've got Atami Korpi. He has a simple goal that he wants to achieve, but standing between him and that goal is, hordes of ruthless, villainous soldiers who he has to brutally dispatch, very much follows that same path as the first, and along the way he does kind of retread some beats that were done in the first film. It also does take a little bit to get going, but even in the sort of slower opening setup stretch, it does have such a confident handling and just the absurdity of the material. Like, this is a film that knows exactly what it is and just kind of runs with it. I mean, the whole thing is literally built around him dismantling his house, loading it onto the back of his truck, and driving home with it. Like, yeah, this is a film that knows what it is and just fully plays into that. Which is to say that when the sort of edge of your seat tension of the initial confrontation finally arrives, yeah, it is glorious. And honestly, you gotta strap in because
This shit is bananas, dog. Bananas.
yeah, it is just a wild, wild ride. And look, if you're somebody who maybe didn't get along with the quite over-the-top nature of the first film's action, yeah, I can't exactly say you're going to be won over by this one, because this just takes that and fully doubles down on it. Just, taking that, ridiculously over-the-top spectacle and just fully playing into that, taking the action and playing it to such, like, cartoonish extremes. It is absolutely wonderful. Like, people are like, shot, stabbed, sliced, set on fire, blown up in all manner of creative ways. Like, the fact that they somehow didn't run out of creative ways to kill people by the end is honestly nothing short of a modern miracle. It's just such an absolute glorious, just cartoonish, slapstick thrill ride that will make you laugh out loud as much as it will make you wince at its brutal violence. It's brilliant. And of course, there's also a lot of like lovingly crafted practical gore effects and some really well rendered CGI explosions too, which really add to just the wild, thrilling, over the top spectacle of it all. It is beautiful. Some particular highlights include the chapter titled Motor Mayhem, in which it basically becomes like something out of Mad Max Fury Road and more than delivers on the name, as well as just a glorious sequence involving a tank flip. It is just, yeah, absolutely insane. And it's a credit that they were able to do all of this on a fairly small budget. Like, this only cost something like 12 million, and yet this little finished film, on a fraction of the budget of the big Hollywood blockbusters, is able to have ambitious, creative, large scale action set pieces. Man, serious words need to be had about budgeting in Hollywood because, yeah, they're being mogged by international cinema here. And yet, beneath the glorious thrill ride of the action spectacle, there's actually some surprisingly resonant new layers that add a personal touch to the story that make it, compelling and, actually, easy to invest in emotionally. Because we get some new layers to Atami as a character. Obviously, we learn a bit more about his past and his family, and ultimately, their deaths and his mission for revenge. And so, very much, it does add a sort of, a sort of more personal touch that humanizes this near indestructible killing machine and makes him a sympathetic character worth rooting for. And it just makes this, simple, good old revenge mission plotline incredibly compelling to watch. It helps that, once again, Jorma Tomila's physical acting is great here. Obviously, this is basically a silent role, so very much it all hinges on his, facial expressions and body language, and he absolutely crushes it. He really just oozes just badass and tough. Like, he does not need a single word to clearly and effectively communicate just how tough, resilient, and stubborn this guy is. His face and body language says it all, and he just does it so well. Also great here is Stephen Lang. Yes, Mr. Quaritch himself, as Dragonov, the key villain of the film. And yeah, my god, he is great here. He's a more than worthy antagonist to Atami, and yeah, he's just clearly having a lot of fun as this this menacing, larger than life Soviet villain. Yeah, he is just great fun. I also have to talk about Atami's dog, man. Like, that thing's even tougher than he is. Not only does it survive the whole thing with not a single scratch, it also has amazing self-recall. Like, clearly all the best action heroes need a canine companion. But all of this to say that, this builds to an absolutely glorious climax. A chapter simply titled Revenge, set on board a train which delivers all of the glorious, barmy action spectacle and really delivers the edge of your seat conclusion to, Atami's revenge mission and that ultimate showdown between him and Dragonov that that they deliver such a glorious end to. It also delivers some quite neat emotional closure to Atami's journey here, but even still, honestly, I'd be down for a third. Got my fingers crossed. Overall, Sisu Road to Revenge is a gloriously entertaining sequel that takes everything that worked about the first and its over-the-top action spectacle, and just really doubles down on it to deliver a wild, cartoonish thrill ride of a film. Out of 10, Sisu Road to Revenge gets an 8. So, let me know down in the comments, have you seen Sisu Road to Revenge? What did you think of it? What did you make of it in comparison to the first? Would you like to see a third film? And are you excited for the Rambo film that Jalmari Helander is directing? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.